The Boeing 737-700 jet, piloted by U.S. Navy veteran and ex-fighter pilot Tammie Jo Schults, had to make an emergency descent after engine debris reportedly struck the aircraft fuselage. Whilst details of the damage are currently under investigation, it is being reported that this damage caused a piece of shrapnel to strike the cabin window, causing it to crack. Unbelievably, this then caused the passenger sat by the failed window to be partially sucked from the cabin. The passenger, now identified as 43-year-old mother of two Jennifer Riordan, tragically lost her life after half her body was dragged from the plane. Despite fellow passengers' desperate attempts to pull her back through the shattered window, Miss Riordan, who was returning to Dallas from New York after a business trip, was unable to be saved. Passengers on board the doomed flight have now come forward to tell their harrowing stories, which include details of how it took the strength of several passengers to hold on to Miss Riordan during the terrifying 12 minutes that it took for the stricken plane to land. One passenger hauntingly recalls how one passenger, wearing a cowboy hat, ran down the plane to grab that lady to pull her back in. She was out of the plane. However, he couldn't do it by himself, so another gentleman came over and helped to get her back in the plane, and they got her. Another passenger harrowingly reveals that Miss Riordan, from her waist above, was outside of the plane. In a desperate attempt to save her life, passengers rallied to try and plug the exposed window, but to no avail. Meanwhile, others tried to give CPR to the badly injured mother of two. Their actions prompted Philadelphia Fire Commissioner Adam Thiel to praise those on board for doing some pretty amazing things under some pretty difficult circumstances. One traumatized passenger reveals exactly what happened on board Flight 1380 in haunting detail in the first interview since the incident. The plane, destined for San Francisco via Dallas, New Orleans, Oakland, Reno, and Las Vegas, would end up landing at Philadelphia International Airport after the engine failed above Burnville, Pennsylvania. The eventual safe landing of the plane is being largely credited to its pilot, Captain Tammie Jo Schults, who stayed extremely calm given the horrific situation. Speaking to air traffic control, Schults can be heard serenely saying, "So we have a part of the aircraft missing." When asked if it was on fire, she calmly responded, "No, it's not on fire, but part of it's missing. They said there is a hole and someone went out." She then requested a medical team to meet the plane to tend to the injured passengers. Once the plane had safely landed, the shocked passengers were comforted individually by Schults, who took the time to speak to everyone on board personally. "Tammie Jo Schults, the pilot, came back to speak to each of us personally," said one passenger. "This is a true American hero. A huge thank you for her knowledge, guidance and bravery in a traumatic situation. God bless her and all the crew." Schults' incredible bravery and skills can be attributed to her history in the U.S. Navy, where she was one of the first female fighter pilots. She would later become an instructor after the Navy, at the time, refused to allow women to fly in combat before resigning in 1993. Since then she has been flying for Southwest Airlines. In total, 12 people were injured in the mid-air explosion, with 7 being treated at the scene for minor injuries. Miss Riordan was immediately taken to hospital in a critical condition, according to the Philadelphia Fire Commissioner, where she later died. As passengers became aware of a situation, after hearing a loud bang and feeling the plane plummet 100 feet, many of them contacted their loved ones. One woman texted her husband to say goodbye, genuinely believing that she would not survive the incident. Here, in an emotional interview, he explains the moment he received that message. Meanwhile, several passengers used their smartphones to take photographs and videos of the chaos. One passenger said, "Something is wrong with her plane. It appears we are going down. Emergency landing. Southwest flight from NYC to Dallas." As kind of an indication of how terrifying it was, some of the crew couldn't hold back their horror, explained one passenger. And some were crying as they looked out through the open window onto the engine. Currently, Southwest Airlines have not given any further details on the incident. Instead,